Good morning, dear students. Last video we are discussing about the growth models, right? So in the last video, due to some technical errors, I stopped the video. Now I'm continuing the topic. So we have discussing about the exponential growth curve, right? So that is dn by dt equal to rn. So the population growth dn by dt equal to rn. That formula we are using here. So when we plot the population n with the time period t, the curve will come like this. Okay, this is called as exponential growth curve. So another name for exponential growth curve is J-shaped growth curve. J-shaped growth curve. Then we see here in the J-shaped growth curve. So it is the, I'm not denoting here 10 initially and here 1 million, right? So it shows like this. So what is 1? 1 is the initial establishment of the population. So population first should establish to the new habitat. After initial establishment of the new habitat, the population increases enormously like this. Why the population is increasing enormously like this means due to presence of unlimited resources. When there are unlimited resources, the organisms will reproduce and increase their number enormously. So we call that one as exponential growth. We are calling that one as exponential growth. And finally, after reaching to the exponential growth, finally the organism shows crash. So crash. Crash is the common feature of the exponential growth model. Why the organisms undergoes crash? But after some time, the resources may get emptied, or the resources are absent, or the breeding season is over. So these organisms shows the crash. And also in the last class we have derived the integral formula of the population growth, that is NT equal to NOERT. So NT equal to NOERT. So what is NT? Population after time period T. NO, initial population size. E, base of the natural logarithm, or intrinsic rate of natural increase. So based upon this, we will do one problem now. Yeah, we are going to do one problem. So we have taken one population, hypothetical population of 1000 individuals which are showing exponential growth. So in that the birth rate is 0.2 per capita per annum and the death rate is 0.2 per capita per annum. So they are asking what will be the population size after 10 years. So what is the formula here? N2 equal to NOERT. Okay, then and logarithm also they have given. The base of the logarithm is 2.78. Base of the logarithm is 2.78. So they are asking the population after the time period 10 years, right? So NO, what is the initial population? Initial population is 1000 individuals. Okay, so NT equal to NO, 1000 individuals. So what is E? E is the base of the natural logarithm, that is 2.78. So what is R? R equal to B minus D, that is equal to 0.2 minus 0.1, that is equal to 0.1. So into 0.1. So after time period how many years? 10 years into 10. So 0.1 into 10, 1, 2.78 into 1, 1, 2.27, 2.78 will come. So that equal to 1000 into 2.78. So what is the answer? That equal to 2780. So the size of the population after 10 years is 2780. If you won't get the problem again, I will show you that the formula. See here, NT equal to population after the time period. Okay, NO equal to initial population or population at 0 time period. So this is the initial population, where this one is the initial population. Then R is equal to intrinsic rate of natural increase. Then E is equal to base of natural logarithm. Base of logarithm, not natural logarithm, base of the logarithm. T is equal to time period. Okay, T equal to time period. Then how to calculate the problem is, the formula is this one, NT equal to NO ERT. So NO means, what is that? NO means initial population. How much the initial population was given? 1000. Okay. So what is E? E is the base of the logarithm. What is the base of the logarithm? They have given 2.78. So that is 2.78. Then what is R? R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. So in the last class I told you how to calculate the R. Birth rate minus death rate equal to R. So here the birth rate is 0.2. You can see here. And death rate is 0.1. So 0.2 minus 0.1 is 0.1. So I have taken 0.1 here. Then now they are asking what will be the population size after 10 years. So what is the after 10 years means? So what is the formula? NT equal to NO ERT. So the E is 2.7, R is 0.1, time period is 10 years. So 1000 into 2.78 into 0 to the power of 0.1 into 10. So the answer will be 2780. Right? 2780. So in nature, if we see the organisms which are showing exponential growth. So for example, if you take the elephants which are considered as the slowest breeders, in absence of check, they increase their number enormously. So remember that they increase their number enormously only when there is no death and the resources should be full. Then only the population can increase in exponential way. So it is exponential way of population cannot be seen in the nature. We can see that one only in the labs. Okay, now let us go for the next one, logistic growth model. Right, next one is logistic growth. So what is the meaning of logistic growth? Logistic growth means, if we see in nature, no species is provided with unlimited resources to show exponential growth. That means in nature, the resources are limited. See that one? In nature, resources are limited. So if the resources are limited, what is going to happen? If the resources are limited, competition occurs among the individuals of the species. Due to limited resources, competition takes place among the species. So due to competition, what will happen? One of the species will survive and the remaining species will die. So the species which are surviving are called as fittest species according to the Darwin. So the fittest species will survive and reproduce. Let us see. In nature, resources are limited. So competition occurs. Among individuals of species. Right? Competition occurs among the individuals of the species. So the species which survive are called fittest species. Remember that. The species which are surviving in the competition are called as fittest species according to the Darwin. Darwin has named them as fittest species which are surviving in the competition or which are surviving in the struggle for existence. Right? Right. Let us see. The fittest species will survive and reproduce. Okay. Okay, the fittest species are surviving and reproducing. So there is one definition called as carrying capacity. Carrying capacity, which is denoted as K. What is the definition of carrying capacity? If you take any habitat, so a habitat is having enough resources. That means in a habitat, the resources are enough to support only for a limited number of species only, or to a limited number of individuals. For example, you take a habitat. In that habitat can support only 400 individuals. Okay, the resources which are present in that habitat can support only 400 resources, 400 individuals. So beyond 400, the habitat is not going to support the individuals. That means in that habitat only 400 individuals can survive. Then that is called as carrying capacity of the habitat. Now let us write that statement now. In a habitat, the resources available can support maximum possible number of individuals. Beyond which it cannot support. So it is called as carrying capacity of that habitat. So it is called as what? Carrying capacity of that habitat. So in a habitat, the resources are enough to support the maximum possible number of individuals, beyond which the possibility is not there, or beyond which the habitat cannot support the individuals. So that is called as carrying capacity of that habitat. So the carrying capacity of that habitat can be denoted as K. Remember the initial K. Now let us go for the next one, logistic growth definition, and this one. So you see here, a population growing in a habitat initially shows lag phase, acceleration phase, deceleration phase, and asymptote or stabilizing phase. Stabilizing phase. So I am using the word a population growing in a habitat initially shows. That means here I missed one statement, that is habitat with limited resources. It's a very important word. A population growing in a habitat with limited resources initially shows lag phase, acceleration phase, deceleration phase, and asymptote phase. Then when we plot population size with the time t, we get a S-shaped curve or sigmoid curve or Weyerhaeuser-Pearl logistic growth curve. So it is called as S-shaped growth curve or sigmoid growth curve or Weyerhaeuser-Pearl logistic growth curve. Now let us see that graph, and after that what is the lag phase, acceleration phase, deceleration phase, and asymptote or stabilizing phases. Why it happens, we'll explain that one. It is time period T. It is the density of population N. Then if we see here, the growth curve, when we plot a growth curve, it shows like this. It's showing like this. So we see here, and I'll put some numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 'This one is the carry capacity. Okay, so it is denoted by the population growth side in the, this one is denoted by dn by dt equal to Rn k minus n by k. So this is very important formula for the NEET also. They will be asking you this type of growth curve shows which formula. Or this is called as sigmoid growth curve or logistic growth curve. Another name for this one is logistic growth curve. So what is meant by N? N is a density of population. K, carrying capacity. R, intrinsic rate of natural increase. Intrinsic rate of natural increase. Then what is meant by 1? 1 is the, what we can say, lag phase. Lag phase means what? Initial establishment phase. So it is called as initial establishment phase. Here the population first should get stabilized. The population is could get stabilized. So we can also call this lag phase as a stabilizing phase. Here the death rate is more than birth rate. So remember that one. In stabilizing phase, initially when the organisms enters into a habitat, first they should get adapted to that habitat and they get stabilized to that habitat. So while getting adapted to that habitat, some organisms will die and some will survive. So initially we take the lag phase. In the lag phase, the death rate will be more than the birth rate. So next one, 2. Number 2 is acceleration phase. Acceleration phase is otherwise called as exponential growth rate. So here in acceleration phase, what is happening? The population is increasing exponentially, or the population is increasing enormously. Why? Due to availability of the resources. Here the birth rate is more than the death rate. That means in acceleration phase, the natality rate is more than the mortality rate. More than the mortality rate. Then after that, a deceleration phase. What is deceleration phase? In deceleration phase, here it is a slow population growth. Here the population is becoming slow. It is not increasing enormously. Why? Because the resources are limited. So due to limited resources, the population has been reducing. So what is happening here? In deceleration phase, the mortality rate is high. So in deceleration phase, the mortality rate is more than the natality rate. Okay. Then after that, 4. What is the fourth one? Fourth one is asymptote phase or stabilizing phase. Asymptote phase is otherwise called as stabilizing phase. What is happening here in asymptote phase means the natality rate is equal to mortality rate. So in asymptote phase, n equal to m. So why the natality rate is equal to mortality rate means the resources are limited and the habitat, the organisms has reached the carrying capacity. So the resources are supporting to the limited number of individuals only. So the natality rate is equal to the mortality rate. So this one is called as logistic growth curve, when you have to remember the formula. We'll do one problem on this, and after that we'll go for the life history variations. So we are showing here one population. In a population showing logistic growth curve, the R value is 0.1 per capita per annum, and carrying capacity of that individual is habitat is 1000. So what is the growth rate, that is dn by dt, when the number of individuals n in the population is 800. They also given all the data they have given. So what is the formula for this one? dn by dt equal to Rn into k minus n by k. So we have to calculate the population growth size. So what is R means here? If you take in R is 0.1. What is n? N is 800. So 0.1 into 800. What is k? K is 1000. So 1000 minus 800 divided by, so again k, 1000. Okay. So that equal to 0.1 into 800, we get 80. 1000 minus 800, 200 divided by 1000. That equal to 80 into 1 by 200 into 5. It can divide into 5 times, right? 1 by 5. So that equal to 80 into 180. 80 divided by 5 will get 16. So what is the growth rate? Means the growth rate is 16 in this population. Okay. So once again look at that. So we have to calculate the population growth rate. Population growth rate. For the logistic growth curve, what is the formula? dn by dt equal to Rn k minus n by k. We all know that R means natural increase, intrinsic rate of natural increase, n is the density of population. Already they have given this one, and k is the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is this one. So by using dn by dt equal to Rn into k minus n by k, we are getting the population growth size as 16. Okay, this completes about the logistic growth model also. Now we go for the life history variations. Right, life history variations. Generally we see populations which are living in a particular habitat tends to maximize their reproductive fitness. That means any population which is living in any habitat tends to increase their reproductive fitness, and that fitness is called as Darwinian fitness. So Darwinian fitness, generally the Darwinian fitness depends upon some factors like biotic and abiotic factors. So let us see the variation shown by different types of animals and examples, right? So here I am going variations, and here examples. So we are discussing about the reproductive fitness only. Okay, remember that one. We are discussing only about the reproductive fitness. Here first one, organisms breed only once in lifetime. So very important one for NEET. Remember that. Very important for NEET examination, these examples. So name the organisms which breed only once in lifetime means it is the salmon fish and bamboo. Bamboo tree. So the bamboo plant and salmon fishes breed only once in the lifetime. They breed only once in the breed time. So next one, organisms breed many times in lifetime. Organisms which can breed many times in life. So what are they? They are the birds and mammals. The organisms can breed many times in the lifetime are birds and mammals. Right. Next one. Organisms produce organisms are producing small sized but many progeny. They are producing enormous progeny, many progeny. So what are they? They are the pelagic fishes and pearl oyster. Pelagic fishes means the fishes which float on the surface waters are called as pelagic. So generally the fishes which are swimming on the surface water are called as pelagic. Then organisms that produce large sized few progeny. So the organisms are producing large sized progeny, but they are few in number, very small in number. That means very less number, 1 or 2 like that. So that includes examples are birds and mammals. So birds and mammals produce large sized but few progeny. So this area is very, very important for NEET examination. And remember that the J-shaped growth curve formula and S-shaped growth curve formula is very, very important. And carrying capacity is also very important. Right, let us go for the next class, population interactions. So after completion of population interactions, we are going to the genetics. So my topic will be over by genetics, and by genetics, as per the deleted topics, we can complete our syllabus. So another 6 to 7 videos, we can complete our second year syllabus, right? Thank you very much.